It's hard to justify buying more games when I haven't even played all the ones I currently own. So I made a deal to myself that before I buy another game, I'm going to play each and every one of these games. Bioshock Infinite. The Bioshock series took an interesting turn for me as it set itself into a completely different scenery. Being shot into the sky rather than submerged beneath the sea, I honestly didn't know what to expect as the game persisted. As I first explored Columbia, my head just started churning with questions. Is this a prequel? No big daddies in this game? No little sisters? No plasmids? No splicers? No tonics? It quickly became clear that this game was its own thing and not directly related to the series. So I just tossed all that out the window, not knowing what to expect. However, nothing, and I do mean nothing, prepared me for the egregious f***ing racism right off the f***ing bat.
Come and claim your prize! First throw! What are you doing? Come on! Are you gonna throw it? Or are you taking your coffee black these days?
I am dead-ass serious. I wish I had my webcam on during this scene because my jaw literally dropped. This game was so racist. And it was insane to me just how this racism was so casually portrayed throughout this game.
'Twas yellow skin and slanted eyes that did betray us with their lies.
Anyway, racism aside, let's do a quick recap. And if you haven't played this game, spoilers ahead. In this installment, you play Booker DeWitt, a hired ex-Pinkerton sent to rescue a girl in this floating city, Columbia. But as you travel across town, the authorities recognize your marks as signs of a false prophet. So, like any fleeing criminal, you chop off these dudes' heads off. Seems gruesome, I know, but remember, these guys are f***ing racists. This idea of American exceptionalism is fueled by this dipshit Zachary stock. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say stock? I meant comms. Wait, nope, sorry. Comstock. Look, this guy's a real piece of shit. Anyway, while fleeing the authorities, you find Elizabeth, the girl you were supposed to help escape. As you guide her out of the tower, you face up against a giant-ass bird. Typical Americans in their love for predatory birds. After successfully escaping the tower and commandeering an airship, Booker decides it's a good idea to start lying to Elizabeth.
What is that? 40 north by 74 west. That's not Paris, that's New York.
And there's a fellow who... He offered to wipe away my debt in exchange for you. Come on. Everything's gonna be okay. Will you just turn around and talk to me and we can...
Elizabeth knocks Booker out, and when he comes to, he finds himself in the middle of a race war. Booker makes a deal with Fitzroy, the leader of the Vox Populi, or I guess in our terms, minorities.
But if you believe in common folk, then join the Vox.
He promises to arm them with weapons and is let go. He reunites with Elizabeth, and together the two find the arms dealer that helps supply the Vox Populi. But not before discovering some weird shit going on. You see, they first got to the arms dealer by asking his wife where he's at.
Booker.
Mr. Lin, not here. He gone.
Gone?
And once they found him, he was murdered and the guns were already gone. Next to him, however, there was what the game called a tear, which Elizabeth opened up, and suddenly the world around them changed. As you go back to the arms dealer's wife, not only is she now a white woman...
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm looking for Mrs. Lin.
I'm Mrs. Lin.
No, I mean a little Chinese lady. She was...
Booker. This is Mrs. Lin.
But the arms dealer is also alive. So, you know, I guess the moral of the story is if you marry white, you'll live longer? Told y'all, this game was racist. Okay, in all seriousness, the game itself wasn't racist, it was just historically accurate, which, in turn, was a very racist time period. It got me, the player, thinking a lot about America's tragic and shameful history, and forced me to draw parallels with today's racial issues, something I wasn't prepared to think about when coming into the game. It added an entirely different layer to the already fascinating world of Bioshock. Anyway, Booker and Elizabeth successfully arm the Vox Populi, only to see them become just as heinous as their oppressors. As they confront the leader, Elizabeth is faced with no choice but to get her hands dirty and kill Fitzroy.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth and Booker discover a conspiracy behind the city's founding. Elizabeth is actually Comstock's adopted daughter.
You're Comstock's daughter.
No, I can't be. I can't.
He wants you to follow in his footsteps.
Well, I want a puppy, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna get one.
He had hoped that with enough brainwashing, she could be the next racist leader of Colombia after he passes. Comstock killed his wife to hide the truth and installed a siphon in Elizabeth's tower to limit her power. You know, some real medieval fantasy step-parent type shit. As Booker and Elizabeth try to escape once more, the sounds of freedom come a-ringin'. Elizabeth is recaptured, and as Booker tries to pursue her, he is caught in a weird time jump, where he is met by every minority's biggest fear: old presidents. Booker reaches an older Elizabeth in 1984, who sends him back to rescue the Elizabeth he knows. After rescuing Elizabeth, she and Booker finally confront Comstock, who brings up Elizabeth's missing finger.
Ask him, child. Ask him what happened to your finger. Ask DeWitt.
Let go of me.
Ask him. Ask the false shepherd. Tell her.
Comstock blames Booker, which really sets him off, and he straight up kills Comstock right in front of Elizabeth.
Huh? Did you get what you wanted?
Booker.
Tell me!
Booker.
Tell me!
And they manage to shake that off and move forward, where they destroy the siphon that held Elizabeth's power back. And with her power in full effect, she transports them to some familiar territory.
City at the bottom of the ocean. Ridiculous.
This is where the game really went balls to the wall and egregiously tried to f with my mind. So here's my attempt to explain it. Elizabeth is actually Booker's daughter Anna, which that right there kind of f me up because I definitely felt some romantic tension between them, and don't act like you didn't either. Anyway, Booker gave up his daughter Anna to the Lutesses in order to repay his outstanding debt. Having regretted his decision, he tried to rescue her, but it was too late, and as Anna reached out for him, the portal closed, leaving one of her fingers behind, hence Elizabeth's deformity. Baby Anna was then taken to Comstock, who raised her as Elizabeth. Being upset with Comstock, however, the Lutesses ranged a way for Booker to confront Comstock. However, this created an infinite loop of different realities, all involving Booker and Comstock. This Booker DeWitt decides that in order to break the cycle, he needs to kill Comstock at birth.
Go back to when he was born, and I'll smother this son of a bitch in his crib.
At which point, Elizabeth teleports him to a baptism. This baptism is where Booker DeWitt repented of the sins he committed at the Battle of Wounded Knee. However, in a number of other realities, this is also the moment where Comstock was quote-unquote born. Rather than trying to atone for his sins in some realities, Booker just justified his actions and became Zachary Comstock.
You chose to walk away, but in other oceans, you didn't. You took the baptism. You were born again as a different man.
Comstock.
That's right, Booker DeWitt, the guy I've been playing this whole time, is also the racist. So I guess moral of the story is Christianity can either turn you into the coolest hero or a entitled racist. This installment was outstanding, probably one of my favorite games. On top of really getting their first-person shooter mechanics down, it was also just a very compelling story, with enough detail to follow a linear path, but also vague enough to take a deeper exploration into the social commentary of American exceptionalism and that white man's burden. It was just as exciting seeing little tourist attractions across Colombia that gave you a better sense of this culture as it was shooting up a Klan meeting. Okay, just to be clear, I am not at all enticing any violence towards any group of people, no matter how much I may disagree with their beliefs. These are all just jokes. However, what I am highlighting is how this game really challenged me as a person, and it's highly commendable that a video game can make me feel this way. This is something I feel more games could aspire to, that not only could a game serve as an entertaining outlet, but could also convey something much deeper. This game was truly incredible. All the way from game mechanics to storyline, it was exceptional all throughout. I will definitely play this game again, but for now, I can cross it off my list and tell my wife, yes, honey, I played that game.
Check it out.